whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Good morning, Ms. Jordahl. In paragraph 9 of your declaration, you state when discussing the visits between Trevor and BSJ, Trevor often chose shorter visits, correct?
Yes.
Ms. Jordahl, you control Trevor's parenting time schedule, correct?
After February, he chose from December all the way until February.
No, so from February 2026 of this year, you state the dates and times that BSJ is available for Trevor to have parenting time, correct?
Yes, in his best interest.
I am asking yes or no questions. Please stick to yes or no in your responses. Under Exhibit 3, and Your Honor, if I may share my screen, I don't know if that's an option.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sharing Exhibit 3. Ms. Jordahl, do you see Exhibit 3 in front of you?
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Yeah, I can make it bigger.
Okay.
I just zoomed in because of the text messages.
Oh, sorry, I meant bigger, so.
Oh, zoom in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Do you see Exhibit 3 in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. And these are text messages between you and Trevor, correct?
Yes.
And if we look at various text messages, we can see when you offered certain dates and times, correct?
Yes.
So specifically in March here, we can see that you offered various dates from 5 to 7 p.m., correct?
I can't read, but it looks like dates. Pretty consecutive.
Looks like March 2nd, March 9th, March 10th, and March 30th approximately, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then if we go to page 3 of Exhibit 3, scroll, we see again there's more dates here in April, and there's various dates and times that you offered a visit from 4 to 7 p.m., correct?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Jordahl, you'd agree with me that Trevor didn't choose shorter visits, you offered him shorter visits, correct?
Those are longer visits from his December to February.
That's not my question, Ms. Jordahl. I asked, you offer Trevor shorter visits from 4 to 7 p.m., correct?
Yes.
In paragraph 16 of your declaration, you claimed that you kept BSJ home on April 4th until the conditions improved, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Jordahl, the first message you sent Trevor on April 4th, 2026 was notifying him that you were canceling his visit with BSJ, correct?
Yes, dependent on the weather, and it cleared up.
No, Ms. Jordahl, again, I am asking you yes or no questions. Please stick to yes or no. Your Honor, if I may share Exhibit F.
Go ahead. And just for future reference, I need you to make sure you're also referring to the record index number in Odyssey,
Yes, Your
not
Honor.
just the exhibit label, because there are some crossover exhibits.
Okay. Yes. So with Exhibit F, Your Honor, I am referring to Court Exhibit 40, Index 40.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ms. Jordahl, do you see, page 19? Oh gosh, there's a delay. Here you go. Of your text of Exhibit F, Court Index 40 in front of you.
Can you make it? Sorry, I'm on a iPad. Can you make it? There you go.
Okay. Can you
Yes.
see? Perfect. So in your first message here, you're saying, but for BSJ safety, he'll be staying home. And then the last sentence, you say there'll be no exchange today, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Trevor asked later on if he could pick BSJ up later once the roads were clear, correct?
Can you highlight it?
Yes. Sorry, my computer just froze on me. We'll move on. Ms. Jordahl, can you still see the April 4th, 2026 exchange from 10:39:03 in front of you?
Yes,
Okay. Again, you said I am not agreeing to any exchange today due to unsafe travel conditions, correct?
correct.
Now, once the road clear, you offer to let Trevor have BSJ later in the day, correct?
Yes,
You offered him an extra hour of parenting time after you had canceled the first approximately 4 hours of his visit, correct?
correct.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Ms. Jordahl, in paragraph 22, you claim Trevor chose not to utilize more time with BSJ on 4 specific days. Those were April 27th, April 29th, May 4th, and May 13th, correct?
If it's in there, then I would say correct.
Okay. April 27th, April 29th, May 4th, and May 13th were all weekdays, correct?
I'm sorry, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I'm gonna go off what you say.
Assuming those were work days, you're aware that Trevor is supposed to work until 5 p.m., correct?
Not always.
Are you aware, Ms. Stortle, that Trevor routinely had to leave work early to meet you at the 3:30 or 4 p.m. exchange time?
At the time, I did not know, and he had texted me later to inform me.
Okay, so you are aware that his workday goes until 5 p.m.
Now I am.
Ms. Jordan, you'd agree with me that Trevor isn't intentionally choosing shorter visits when your proposed parenting time requires him to leave work early for visits, correct?
Can you repeat that?
You'd agree with me that Trevor isn't intentionally choosing shorter visits with BSJ when your proposed parenting time requires him to leave work early, correct?
I leave work early.
Do you have universal control and availability to leave work early whenever you'd like?
Not whenever. We have to make sure we're staffed.
Yet you are requiring Trevor to have universal control and availability in his schedule to leave work early, right?
Sure.
Ms. Jordahl, Trevor never agreed to Oaks being the exclusive exchange location for parenting time, correct?
It's where he has always come. He
Ah.
chose to come to my house.
Ms. Jordahl, again, it's a yes or no question. You told Trevor exchanges would occur in Oaks, correct?
If it says it in the text.
Trevor asked to exchange BSJ in Gwinner, North Dakota, correct?
Yes.
Except for one occasion you refused to exchange BSJ in Gwinner, right?
Except for what?
One occasion.
One occasion, yes.
You'd agree with me over the last few months, Trevor has repeatedly asked for more time with Brecken, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you've denied his request for additional parenting time?
No, he's gotten time.
You granted him every single request of parenting time he's asked for?
Not every single parenting time because we go off of what's in Brecken's best interest and his schedule.
And that is the schedule that you created, correct?
It's what his schedule is.
But you've set the dates and times for that schedule, right?
I've also offered for him
The yes
to.
or no question.
So, all right, stop. Ms. Jordahl, I need you to listen to the question. I need you to answer the question and only the question, not what you want it to be. Your attorney is going to have an opportunity to ask you questions too, to clarify points.
Okay.
Answer only the question, okay?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Leclomp.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Jordahl, you are requesting that Trevor's parenting time be restricted to every other weekend from Friday at 4 to Sunday at 4, correct?
Correct.
Throughout your allegations, you've made no allegations that Trevor is incapable of providing BSJ with nurture, love, affection, and guidance, correct?
Correct.
You've made no allegation that Trevor has not provided BSJ with adequate food, correct?
Correct.
You've made no allegations that Trevor has not provided BSJ with adequate clothing, correct?
Correct.
You've made no allegations that Trevor does not have substantial or adequate housing for BSJ, true?
True.
In fact, in paragraph 72 of your declaration, you stated Trevor is capable of providing for BSJ during his parenting time, right?
Right.
You agree with me that Trevor is able to provide BSJ with adequate food, clothing, and shelter, right?
Yep.
To date, Ms. Jordahl, you've made no allegations about BSJ safety or security with Trevor, right?
Right.
Ms. Jordahl, you claim factor J, which deals with domestic violence, favors you in your declaration, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Trevor has never physically harmed you, right?
No.
Trevor has never caused you bodily injury, right?
Correct.
Trevor has never compelled sexual activity by force, true?
True.
Trevor has never assaulted you, right?
Never.
Trevor has never caused you fear of imminent physical harm, right?
Right.
And Trevor has never physically harmed BSJ, correct?
I can't answer that.
Have you ever accused Trevor of harming BSJ?
Oh, no.
Okay. Have you ever noticed any bruises or markings on BSJ when he's returned from his parenting time with Trevor?
He's a toddler. No. Well, bruises, yes, but no.
Not beyond what you would
No,
expect
no.
with a toddler. Mr. Ertl, when BSJ was born, you were in a relationship with Jeremy Skoglund, correct?
Yes.
Did your relationship with Jeremy affect your ability to develop a secure bond with BSJ?
No.
Okay. If your relationship didn't affect your ability to bond with BSJ, isn't it fair to say that Trevor's marriage wouldn't affect his relationship with BSJ,
True.
despite what you wrote in your declaration?
What did I say?
In your declaration, you stated that you were concerned that Trevor's marriage to Logan would affect his ability to bond with BSJ, right?
Sure.
Now, within your declaration, you've made no allegations that BSJ has been harmed during his parenting time with Trevor, right?
Can you repeat that?
I will actually move on because it's a duplicate question. Within your declaration, Ms. Jordahl, there is no allegation that BSJ has ever been returned hungry, right?
Did you say in my declaration or what? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
within your declaration, you've made no allegations that BSJ has been returned hungry or anything.
I don't know if I did.
Okay. At every exchange, BSJ is wearing appropriate clothing, correct?
He's wearing clothing.
Okay. When BSJ was born, Trevor requested a paternity test, correct?
Not to me.
Okay. Since BSJ's birth, Trevor has asked for a paternity test for BSJ, correct?
To the best of my knowledge, he's never asked me.
He's never asked you in text message for a paternity test?
I think I've stated to him to get his paternity test. Am I allowed to answer this or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Just one moment. Ms. Jordahl, on July 16, 2024, Trevor texted you, the only way I can establish paternity is if a paternity test is done, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that would be him asking for a paternity test, correct?
Sure.
Okay. And then on October 18th, 2024, Trevor texted you, so I want a visitation schedule set by a mediator and a paternity test done before that, correct?
Correct.
And that is him asking for a paternity test, correct?
Sure.
And that's a yes?
I need the words, not mhm and ahas.
Okay. Sorry.
And it's just because if there's a transcript prepared, it won't be clear whether that's a yes or no. So just to make
Okay.
sure I understand,
Okay, perfect.
can you ask the question again, Ms. Leclomp?
That was Trevor asking for a paternity test, correct?
Correct.
In paragraph 96 of your declaration, Ms. Jordahl, you stated, once paternity was legally established, I immediately began facilitating parenting time and have continued to offer parenting opportunities beyond what Trevor consistently exercised during the first 18 months of BSJ's life, correct?
Yes.
You offered more parenting time opportunities to Trevor once his paternity was established, right?
Offered when we talked about it, yes.
Again, it's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Ms. Jordahl, you were waiting for Trevor's paternity to be established before you allowed Trevor reasonable and consistent parenting time, correct?
Correct.
Ms. Jordahl, you claim that a gradual and consistent increase in parenting time best supports BSJ's development, true?
I do believe that.
Since earlier this year, you have gradually increased Trevor's parenting time with BSJ, correct?
Can you repeat that?
Yes. Since earlier of this year, 2026, you have gradually increased Trevor's parenting time with BSJ, correct?
Yes.
Over the last few months, you have changed and modified his schedule to increase Trevor's parenting time, right?
Yes.
BSJ's schedule and routine is different from January 2026 than it is today, correct?
Correct.
You'd agree with me that BSJ has adapted to his new schedule and routine with Trevor, right?
Yes.
Since BSJ has adapted to his new schedule with Trevor over the last few months, isn't it fair to say that BSJ would adapt to a gradual and consistent increase in Trevor's parenting time, should he be awarded equal parenting time?
Sure.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher, Rule 8.2 doesn't really address the opportunity to redirect. Nevertheless, I generally allow parties to redirect based solely on the cross-examination that occurred. Do you have any redirect from Ms. Jordahl?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Brittany, with respect to BSJ adapting to the graduated schedule that he is currently exercising, have there been issues with his behavior when the parenting time has increased?
Yes.
Can you describe what those issues are?
He has started hitting at daycare, pulling hair, kicking. I was pulled aside this Monday and they've been saying that it's been certain weekends that Brecken comes back and it takes about 2 days to adjust to get back on a schedule.
Prior to BSJ having parenting time with Trevor on the every other weekend schedule he's having now, did he have any of those behavior issues?
Never.
Did Trevor ask for significant parenting time with BSJ before paternity was legally established?
No.
When BSJ was born and even prior to his birth, did he hold out BSJ as his own child?
Yes, he has.
Did his family hold out BSJ as Trevor's child?
Hold out meaning like claiming?
Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Objection, Your Honor. We never asked any questions regarding Trevor's family.
Sustained. I'll treat that as a scope objection. Sustained.
Brittany, did you ever stop Trevor from getting a paternity test done?
No.
Would you have made BSJ available for a paternity test?
Yes.
After he texted you stating he wanted a schedule from a mediator and a paternity test, did he take any steps to get that test done?
He did not.
Has BSJ ever been brought back to you in the wrong size diapers or clothing?
Yes.
How often is that?
In the beginning, it was quite often. A couple times the past month or two, wrong size diapers.
You were asked some questions about your concern about Trevor's marriage. Did you have a concern about Trevor's marriage specifically, or who was bonding with BSJ during the parenting time?
Not Trevor's marriage, it's who is bonding with Brecken.
Okay, and what was your concern about that?
I didn't feel that Trevor had a full bond with him, and there's also a fact that at a couple exchanges, Brecken has called Logan mama, and Trevor has never redirected him to say that that is not his mom.
You were asked some questions about your response to the domestic violence factor in your declaration. In your declaration, I'm just looking to that right now. You did indicate you did not describe your relationship as physically abusive. Can you describe what you experienced during your relationship?
I would say kind of emotionally abusive, more so if he doesn't get his way, he will sit there and glare at you and make you feel little.
And you have other children, correct?
I do.
Have you been concerned about how Trevor has acted around your other children?
Objection beyond the scope.
Sustained.
You were asked some questions about, you haven't been concerned about Trevor providing appropriate care during his parenting time. Have you been concerned about who is the one providing the care during Trevor's parenting time?
Objection beyond the scope.
I'm going to overrule this objection, but your scope is narrow, Miss Wisher. Ask the question again.
Brittany, have you been concerned about who is providing care of Brecken during Trevor's parenting time?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you have those concerns?
I do know Trevor has been working quite a few of his visitations. I'm not getting offered to take care of him and then him pick him up. He's leaving him with other people. And if you're just getting to know your son again, I feel it should be you taking care of him, you creating that bond.
Brittany, you were asked questions or it was indicated that Trevor believes you have controlled the parenting time schedule. With the dates you have provided for parenting time, have you asked Trevor if these dates work for him?
Yes, multiple times.
So this is a schedule that you believe is developmentally appropriate for Brecken and that the two of you have come up with together. Is that accurate?
Yes.
With the March parenting time questions you were asked and the exhibit that was shown, that was March of 2026, correct?
Yes.
How frequently had Trevor seen BSJ prior to that time?
I think he was seeing him every week. Before that, he was seeing him once a week. And then we went up to 2 times a week. And then he was not choosing more time. So then I proposed a longer schedule, more time.
And did this schedule just start in February of this year?
I'm sorry, what?
The schedule started sometime in the beginning of this year, I believe in February. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And prior to February of this year,
Objection beyond the scope.
I need to hear the whole question first, so for now I reserve ruling on the objection. Go ahead, ask the question, Miss Wisher, or just ask it again.
Sure. So prior to the schedule being established in February, did he go frequent amounts of time without seeing him at all?
Yes.
You were asked some questions about the issue with the weather in April of 2026. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what the weather conditions were that day?
Oh, they were terrible. My boss had sent me videos of pulling out the snowplows. My nanny's dad had pulled out 2 snowplows prior to that. It was that wet, very wet, heavy snow, and it hit us first.
Was travel advised on that day?
And there was no travel at all.
And you were asked some questions about exchanges occurring in Oaks. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Now, did you and Trevor previously live in the same area?
Yes.
And you currently live in Oaks, correct?
Yes, I live here.
And where did Trevor live prior to his current home?
He lived in Hecla, South Dakota.
How far is Hecla from Oaks?
About 25 minutes.
And Trevor decided to move, is that correct?
Correct.
Did he discuss this move with you?
He did not discuss it, but he told me he was moving.
Did he discuss that exchanges should take place in a different location or just tell you he was moving?
He only told me he was moving. There was no discussion about changing locations.
And following his move, did he refuse to give you his address?
Yes, multiple times.
Objection beyond the scope.
Sustained.
Brittany, through all this, has your main concern just been Brecken's best interest?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Leclomp, any other witnesses that you wish to call and cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor, I call Karen Greenmeyer.
We will have Ms. Greenmeyer. We'll admit her back from the waiting room. All right. Ms. Greenmeyer, can you please raise your right hand for me so I can see it? Ma'am, for the testimony you're about to give, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand. Please state and spell your full name for me.
Karen Greenmeyer. Karengreenmeyer.
And Ms. Greenmeyer, I had put you in a waiting room. I just want to confirm that you weren't able to hear or see any previous testimony.
No, I was not.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Lecomte.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Greenmeyer.
Good morning.
You've submitted a declaration in support of Ms. Jordahl in this action, correct?
Yes,
Within your declaration, you discuss BSJ's baptism, right?
yes,
For BSJ's baptism, Ms. Jordahl appointed Preston Peterson to be BSJ's godfather, correct?
yes,
Preston is Trevor's sister's ex-boyfriend, correct?
Trevor's
Sister's
Oh, okay.
ex-boyfriend.
Yes, you're right.
And Trevor's sister and Preston dated for about 4 years. True?
Yeah. Yeah,
Now, their relationship ended because Preston was verbally abusive, correct?
I don't know all this information. So I can't really say.
Are you aware that Preston once screamed "fuck you" in Trevor's sister's face before he slammed the door?
Relevance beyond the scope.
Your Honor, if I may.
To an individual who was not named in our declaration.
Ms. Lecomte, what portion of Ms. Greenmeyer's declaration are you referring to?
Yes, Your Honor. I am referring to paragraph 9 regarding the tension between the families, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher, state your objection again.
Relevance, the individual named is not a witness, not even named in the declaration. I guess I'm not sure where the questioning is leading or what the relevance is to the best interest of this child at hand.
Ms. Lecomte, the relevance objection.
Yes, Your Honor, it's going towards the last statement in paragraph 9 regarding the tension, to give context about the tension between the parties.
So are you referring to the tension between this Preston Peterson and Trevor's sister?
Your Honor,
I'm confused with the relevance here. So you need to clear that up for me before I allow the question.
yes, Your Honor. Given the reasons and the treatment that Trevor's sister endured in the relationship, the tension was palpable because of who was present at the baptism and the role that that person was appointed, when it's inferred that attention was
All
being.
right, I've heard enough. I'm going to overrule the objection, but Ms. Lecomte, again, I see limited relevance here, so narrow the scope and get to the point.
Okay.
Ms. Greenmeyer, you can answer the question if you know the answer.
The question again?
I will ask a new question, Ms. Greenmeyer. Ms. Greenmeyer, you'd agree with me that the tension you felt could have been due to Trevor's family being uncomfortable around Preston, given his history with Trevor's sister, correct?
You know, I'm not, that's not the tension I observed. I don't really know all the relationship there with Preston and his sister. So that's not what I was referring to.
Ms. Greenmeyer, in paragraph 11 of your declaration, you state, I have personally seen BSJ show resistance towards Trevor in regards to an exchange between the parties, correct?
Yes,
Trevor has parenting time with BSJ approximately every other weekend with 2 weekday visits every 2 weeks, correct?
I guess so. I'm not there, but yes,
If Trevor has parenting time 3 times every 2 weeks, the parties have roughly 6 exchanges per month.
3 times every 2 weeks. Sure, yes.
It's fair to say that since February 2026, the parties have had approximately 30 exchanges, correct?
I guess, if you do the math, yeah,
Okay. And you have only been present for 2 exchanges, correct?
that is correct.
Okay. You have no personal knowledge about how the other approximate 28 exchanges went, correct?
That's correct.
Are you aware that at some exchanges, BSJ has been resistant to leave Trevor?
Has had some resistance to leave him.
Yes.
Just the one exchange I had with him, and Brittany was there. I could just tell that there was tension, and he's very willing to go to mom.
Ms. Greenmeyer, that is not my question.
Okay.
I will repeat my question. Are you aware that at some exchanges, BSJ has been resistant to leave Trevor?
Objection, Your Honor. This witness did just testify she's only been present at 2 exchanges. I don't know, she doesn't have personal knowledge of how the child acted at the other.
Ms. Greenmeyer, you can answer to the extent that you have personal knowledge.
Just the one exchange.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Well, I have a question. So, Ms. Greenmeyer, I want to make sure I understand your last response. Ms. Lecomte asked you whether or not you were aware of any instance that BSJ resisted leaving Trevor to go back to Brittany.
Resisted leaving Trevor. Oh, not resisted. That I answered.
And then you
that.
said you said just that one exchange. And so I want to make sure I understand what your response is. Can you clarify that for me, please?
There was no resistance leaving Trevor. No. If that's what she's asking. I mean,
Not on the occasions that you were present.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Lecomte, did my question pose any follow-up from you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wisher, again, I give people an opportunity to redirect, even though Rule 8.2 doesn't address it. Go ahead if you wish.
Yes, Your Honor. On the exchanges that you were present, was BSJ always, did he appear closely bonded with his mother?
Definitely.
No other questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Greenmeyer. Is this witness here pursuant to a subpoena?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher?
No, Your Honor.
Can she be released from the sequestration order?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher?
Yes, that's fine.
So Ms. Greenmeyer, what that means for you is you can stay in the hearing and listen to the other testimony if you wish. You can disconnect if you wish. You're free to go. It's entirely up to you. But I am going to mute you at least. So with that, thank you for your testimony. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Ms. Leclomp, any other witnesses, evidence, or testimony?
Yes, I call Heather Bilogen, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly.
I'll go grab her if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. I did add Heather's S25 Ultra. I'm assuming that's who we're talking about.
Yes, that would be her. Is it okay if she's on mine? She can't get her phone to work.
That's fine.
Sorry, it's in here, but it's not working.
Okay, well, she needs to get her phone out of there so we don't have that echo.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. Ma'am, what is your name?
Heather Filyoun.
Viljoen. Okay,
Filyoun. Yeah.
I'll have you raise your right hand for me, ma'am. Ma'am, for the testimony that you're about to give, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand, and I'll have you state and spell your full name for me for the record.
Heather Filyoun. Heather Viljoen.
And ma'am, I just want to confirm, while you were in the waiting room, you weren't able to hear or see any of the proceedings in court?
No.
All right, Ms. Lecomte, you can go ahead and cross-examine Ms. Viljoen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Viljoen. In paragraph 7, you say Brittany has adjusted her work schedule to accommodate Trevor's requested parenting time and exchange schedule. Do you remember writing that?
Yes.
Are you aware that Brittany sets the dates and times for Trevor's parenting time?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Ms. Viljoen, you'd agree with me that if Brittany has to adjust her work schedule to accommodate the parenting time, if she schedules the dates and times, it's to accommodate her schedule, correct?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, absolutely. Ms. Viljoen, you'd agree with me that since Brittany is the one that sets the dates and times for the parenting schedule, she has control about whether or not she would have to leave work early, correct?
No.
Ms. Viljoen, have you ever had a conversation with Trevor regarding his parenting time with BESJ?
No.
You've never personally discussed Trevor's parenting time schedule with him, right?
No.
So any information regarding if or when Trevor confirms visits with Brittany, that information has come from Brittany, correct?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher, any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness here pursuant to a subpoena?
No, Your Honor.
No, she's not.
May she be excused from the sequestration order?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms.
Yes,
Wisher?
no objection to that.
Ms. Viljoen, what that means for you is that you're no longer subject to the sequestration order and you're no longer required to be here, so you're free to go. You can stay if you choose. You're no longer subject to that sequestration order. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Ms. Lecomte, any other witnesses, evidence, or testimony?
Yes, I called Jake Jordahl.
Your Honor, with respect to Mr. Jordahl, I've been made aware he's at an appointment at 10 a.m. that could not have been rescheduled. I believe he can call into this as soon as that is over. So that's why he's not on right now.
Well, if he's not available right now, I'm going to exclude his testimony. So you didn't file a motion or request that before the hearing. It's now the time and place for the hearing. The rule is if the witness is not available to testify when the demand has been made at least 24 hours in advance, that the court can't consider the testimony. So Jake Jordahl's testimony, unless you can tell me something otherwise, that's my intention. Ms. Leclomp, is that your position?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher?
Your Honor, with respect to that, he would be able to log on before the time scheduled for the hearing is to be over. I believe we are scheduled to be done at 11:30. If he can log on prior to that, we would request that his testimony not be excluded.
Ms. Leclomp, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I was going to reserve time for oral arguments once Ms. Wisher was done with her case.
So, Ms. Wisher, again, the time and place for the hearing was 9:30 until it was done. He's not present. And now is the time that he's being called. Do you have any case law or any other rule or statute that guides my decision here?
Your Honor, no, I apologize, we don't.
All right, so at this time, the court is going to exclude Jake Jordahl's declaration and not consider it. I have read it, but I will set it out of my mind when I make my decision. It will not be part of the decision. So that's the court's order. Ms. Leclomp, any other witnesses, evidence, or testimony?
Just reserving for all closing argument, Your Honor. No other witnesses.
So you rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wisher, any witnesses, evidence, or testimony?
Yes, Your Honor, we called Trevor Sumption.
Mr. Sumption, I need you to raise your right hand and unmute yourself. Sir, for the testimony you're about to give, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand, and I'll need you to state and spell your full name for me.
Trevor Sumption, TrevorSumption.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Wisher.
Mr. Sumption, the declaration you filed in this case stated that you did not know whether or not you were the father of BSJ. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is it true that Brittany kept you informed of things happening in her pregnancy?
Yes.
You asked to attend her prenatal appointments. Is that correct?
I didn't know what the appointments were, but probably yes.
Additionally, you asked her for ultrasound photos.
Yes.
So it's fair to say that during her pregnancy, you at least held out that you were the father of BSJ.
Yes.
And after BSJ was born, you met him, correct?
Yes.
Within 24 hours of him being born.
Yes.
And your family was allowed to meet BSJ at that time as well.
My mom and dad, yes.
And that was something organized by Brittany, correct?
I don't remember if she said my mom and dad could be there, but I asked that they would be there.
And it's true, in fact, that you told your family to not reach out to Brittany until things were settled legally.
I don't remember, I guess.
Is it true to say that you held out BSJ as your son right after he was born?
Yes.
Okay. True that your family posted about him on Facebook right after he was born as your son?
Yes, I believe so.
When was BSJ born?
July 12th of 2024.
And it's accurate that you and Brittany had no contact from August of 2024 to October of 2024.
Yes.
And Brittany was the one who actually reached out to you in October of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And in that text, I believe both of you have submitted it as an exhibit. She asked you if you intended on being a part of BSJ's life because he was recognizing faces and she wanted you to be one of them.
Yes.
Okay. So from the time BSJ was born until she texted you at that point, she was the one taking care of him 100% of the time, correct?
To my knowledge.
The one responsible for his nurture, development, everything that she was responsible for at that time. She was the one doing it.
Objection, beyond the scope.
Overruled. Ask the question again, please.
I'll move on. I believe it was kind of a duplicate question anyways. Mr. Sumption, you saw BSJ briefly in October and November of 2024, correct? I believe that's stated in your declaration.
Yes.
And following that time, you went approximately an entire year without seeing him.
I want to say it was around 11 months.
Okay, so from December of 2024 to November of 2025, you didn't have any contact with your son.
Correct.
Okay. And during that time, who was his primary caregiver?
Objection, beyond the scope.
Okay. I'll rephrase. Mr. Sumption, during that time, is it fair to say that Brittany was the one likely getting up with him each night?
Yes.
And getting him ready each morning?
Yes.
Responsible for his daily routine, medical care, comfort, and emotional well-being?
Yes.
In your declaration, paragraph 29, you stated that BSJ is a happy, on-the-move little guy, correct?
Yes.
You said that he's super happy and smiley.
Yes.
Would you agree that he's meeting all of his developmental milestones?
Yes.
Would you agree that he's doing well and he's thriving?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that plenty of that can be attributed to Brittany being his primary caregiver since birth?
Objection, beyond the scope.
On the beyond the scope objection, I'm going to overrule that objection. I think it's within the scope. I think it's argumentative, but nevertheless, answer the question.
Question was, is it safe to agree that BSJ doing well can be attributed to Brittany being his primary caregiver since he was born?
I would say between her and the daycare, yes.
Is it true that in February of 2026, that's when you began having regular parenting time with BSJ?
Wouldn't say it was regular, but parenting time nonetheless, yes.
Okay, so about less than 6 months ago, correct?
Yes.
And the schedule that Brittany proposed, this started with shorter periods of time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it correct that even those shorter periods of time were multiple times per week?
At most it was twice a week, but a lot of times it was just once a week.
Would you agree that you were essentially a stranger to BSJ at that point?
Not at that point, no.
Okay, and that was again following a time where you went 11 months without any contact with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you believe when there has been that amount of time without any contact, it's appropriate to build up the relationship first?
To a certain extent, yes.
Is it true that your parenting time started with Brittany being present?
Yes.
Okay. And following that, you spent time with BSJ outside of her being present, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the times for this eventually extended. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And now you have been having parenting time with BSJ every other weekend, correct?
Yes.
Do you agree that it would have been very overwhelming to BSJ to be thrown into a new household?
Back in February, yes.
Okay, so it was appropriate to build up the schedule, correct?
For a month or two, I would say yes.
Your declaration paints a picture that you have a great relationship with BSJ. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you believe this can be attributed to how you were introduced into his life on this graduated schedule?
Objection, argumentative, beyond the scope.
Sustained.
Is it true to say that in the span of maybe 2 to 3 months, you essentially went from having no contact with BSJ to having overnights with him?
Over the course of 6 months, yes.
When did your overnights begin?
I believe in April was the first one.
And February is when this schedule started, so it just took about 2 months for that, correct?
Yes.
Where did you reside in February of 2026?
I would have resided in Hecla, South Dakota.
And where do you currently live?
I live in Wyndmere, North Dakota.
Is it true that you did not discuss your move with Brittany prior to deciding to move?
No.
And you did not have a discussion with her about what that would mean for your parenting time, including the transportation?
No.
You're aware that Brittany has other children
Yes.
and they reside primarily with her.
Yes.
Would you agree that she has a lot of responsibilities with BSJ, her other children, and work?
Yes.
Objection, beyond the scope and argumentative.
Your Honor, we're discussing the transportation, which was discussed in his declaration.
Your Honor, she's
Well,
asking
the
about.
The question was about Brittany Jordahl's other children and responsibilities, so I'm going to sustain the objection. Move
true
along.
that after you decided to move, you did not want to tell Brittany your address?
No.
That's not accurate?
No.
Your move was so that you could live with your then fiance, now wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that you have told her to call, or you told BSJ to call her mama?
I did not know.
In your declaration, you stated that you believe Brittany is projecting her issues with her ex-husband onto you. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Now, whether or not the court is considering it, you're aware that he wrote a declaration in support of Brittany in response to your motion, correct?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that that shows there is a good co-parenting relationship between the two of them?
Objection, argumentative.
Overruled.
Did you
Is it
say
fair?
that?
Is it fair to say that that would show that there is a good co-parenting relationship between the two of them?
I would say now, yes.
Is it true that you have referred to Brittany as a dictator?
Yes.
Is it true that you have told Brittany your household can provide Brecken with a life that she can't?
Yes.
And I apologize, Your Honor, I'm slipping up between calling the child his name and initials. Mr. Sumption, is it true that you have made other hostile comments towards Brittany?
Objection, argumentative.
It's a yes or no question.
It's the phrasing of the question, Your Honor.
Ask the question again.
Is it true that you have made other comments that Brittany would consider to be hostile towards her?
Objection. How is he supposed to know what Brittany considers lack of personal knowledge?
Sustained.
Mr. Sumption, is it true that Brecken will start preschool within the next few years
Yes.
and school after that?
Yes.
Would you agree that an hour-long drive to get him to school each morning is not what's best for him?
Objection, beyond the scope.
Your Honor, we're
Sustained.
discussing. Okay. Mr. Sumption, is it true that approximately 1 year ago you received a citation for an open alcohol beverage container accessible in the vehicle?
Objection, beyond the scope and relevance.
It's in the declaration. I'm going to overrule the objection, and I think it's relevant. Answer the question, Mr. Sumption.
Yes, I was given a citation for that. Yes.
Is it true that you pled guilty to that?
I paid a fine, yeah.
Was your license restricted for any period of time due to that citation?
None.
In your declaration, you stated that you don't have access to BSJ's medical records. Is that correct?
I have asked Brittany for them, and she has not given them to me. She said I could look them up, and I have not. No.
Is it true that she provided you with the names of the clinic where BSJ receives his medical care?
Yes, but not the provider or doctor.
And you haven't contacted them to set up that access, correct?
No.
Would you agree that Brittany is a good mom?
Yes.
Okay. And would you agree that she wants what's best for BSJ?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Ms. Leclomp, any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Trevor, when Brittany was pregnant with BSJ and when BSJ was born, were you 100% certain that you were his biological father?
In my heart, yes, but technically, no.
No. You hoped, right, when you say in your heart that you were his father?
Yes.
And you're just asking for confirmation about your paternity?
Yep.
There's also a lot of questions regarding the schedule since February 2026 to present. Do you think BSJ needed the time, that length of time to adjust to visits with you?
I don't think so. Right away, yes. I would say after the first month, he knew who I was when I came over to see him, and he adjusted super fast and very well.
And how have the visits been going with
Really good.
BSJ? And during that time, did you ask Brittany for more time with BSJ?
Yes.
And what was her response?
It was no, or she would make up an excuse as to why that would not be in his best interest.
I believe there's a specific question regarding your first overnight. Your visit started early February 2026, correct?
I believe I was seeing him before that. The time I had with him by myself would have been in February. Yes.
Okay. And then your first overnight was at the end of April 2026, correct?
Yes.
So it took 3 months, if not longer, if you were having some supervised visits with him in January, correct?
Yes.
Why were you having supervised visits in January 2026?
That was per her request.
Her being what, Brittany?
Yes.
Do you know why she wanted supervised visits?
She had never explained to me, no.
And did you agree to supervise visits so you could see BSJ?
Yes.
You're asked about a comment that you stated you can provide BSJ with a life, I believe life or lifestyle, I can't remember the exact phrasing, that Miss Jordahl can't. Can you explain what you meant by that comment?
I have a huge family with lots of younger cousins that are about Brecken's age. I am happily married, so he can grow up showing how to love a partner, and I just have a bigger home where he can have access to his own room if he needs personal space.
Did you mean by your comment that you can show him a different life than what Miss Jordahl can show him?
Yes.
Were you trying to infer that the life you could provide him would be better than the life she would provide him?
I would say better, but in a different way, yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Sumption. Ms. Wisher, any other witnesses, evidence, or testimony?
No, Your Honor, we'd rest.
All right. And with that, any closing argument, Ms. Leclomp?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. When reviewing Ms. Jordahl's declaration and text messages and all the supplemental documents and pleadings, the most common theme throughout everything is her use of the words I and my. Throughout her declaration, she testifies, I proposed a schedule for March in paragraph 12. I provided Trevor with 13 available parenting dates in paragraph 13. I extended the visit 1 hour because I wanted them to have additional time. My focus has always been on making the decisions I believe are best for our son, paragraph 39. The documents are riddled with her interjecting her schedule and what she believes is in BSJ's best interest. The consistency and routine that BSJ has followed for the last few months has been controlled and dictated by her. Once Trevor got the paternity confirmation he had been asking for months, he did everything within his power to be an active participant in BSJ's life, subject to the time and dates and availability that Ms. Jordahl would provide him with. For months, Ms. Jordahl kept Trevor at arm's length from BSJ because she claimed he needed a gradual and increased time to adjust. Yet, as Trevor just testified, BSJ was comfortable around Trevor within the first month. Trevor has been as patient as anyone could expect after waiting for months to confirm he has a son. Over the last 5-6 months, Trevor has been at Ms. Jordahl's mercy for when and how long he could see their son. He's gradually increased his time, yet Ms. Jordahl now wants to cap their relationship to every other weekend with a few hours during the weekday. Ms. Jordahl doesn't like being called controlling, but that is what has happened for the last few months. Anytime Trevor wanted to see BSJ, she had to approve the visit. Trevor wanted to move the exchange location to Winter to accommodate the needs of his new family with BSJ and split the drive. She refused. Ms. Jordahl wanted exchanges at the police station. Trevor had to comply or not see BSJ. Anytime Trevor tried to ask for more time, he was met with opposition and fear of not seeing his son. It is in BSJ's best interest to have equal time with both of his parents. Both parties love BSJ unconditionally and are his primary caregiver during their respective times. Ms. Jordahl has made no accusations against Trevor's inability to parent beyond her being, at least in her declaration, her being BSJ's primary caregiver. There's a lot of instances within her declaration where she commends Trevor, but then goes, however, I'm still the primary caregiver. Both parties are supported by their friends and family. Both parties encourage BSJ's development and growth. Trevor wasn't afforded the opportunity to be involved in BSJ's life because Brittany refused the paternity test. She put her pride before BSJ's best interest. The remaining best interest factors are either neutral or don't apply in this case. Ms. Jordahl can't argue she does everything for BSJ when she restricted Trevor's from the same access. She provided him extremely limited opportunities to be involved in his life for the last 5-6 months, while hiding behind vague generalities that BSJ isn't ready, when in fact the opposite is true. He has a great time with Trevor. He loves his daddy and is yearning for more time. Trevor did not agree for exchanges to be in Oaks. The drive to his house means he spends more time driving with BSJ during the weekday visits, specifically the 3:30 to 7 p.m., than he does outside the car. Nor should Trevor be responsible for half of the daycare costs when his mother has offered to provide free daycare for the parties. We'd ask that each party be responsible for their own daycare fees and expenses. Ultimately, Your Honor, we are requesting that Trevor's motion be granted in full. It is in BSJ's best interest for the parties to have equal parenting time. Thank you.
Ms. Wisher.
Thank you, Your Honor. What is undisputed in this case is that Brittany has been BSJ's primary caregiver and has been since he was born. This is a child who is 2 years old, and for 11 months out of his life, his father had no contact with him, showed no interest, didn't make any request to see him, anything like that. That's half of this child's young life. Brittany never refused a paternity test. Trevor simply did not take a paternity test or make any moves towards getting a paternity test. When Trevor refused to see BSJ or didn't make any steps to see him for a year, Brittany was the one taking care of him. She was the one responsible for food, clothing, shelter, medical care, safe environment, ensuring that he had proper development. everything that this child needs. She was the one who provided. He has a great relationship with his siblings at her home. And really, he only regularly started seeing his father early this year. As Trevor was essentially a stranger to BSJ at that point, for BSJ's sake, Brittany did propose a graduated parenting time schedule. As the text messages that have been submitted into evidence show, this was not dictated by her, but rather proposed by her, and Trevor either accepted or rejected the dates. There is negotiation between the parties. The text messages show that. Oftentimes he did request more time. However, what Brittany has always held firm on is she's doing what is best for BSJ. And
In whose opinion?
Well, this is Brittany's opinion and shown by both parties agreeing that BSJ is doing well and he's a happy little guy.
But does Mr. Sumption agree that it's in BSJ's best interests that he only gets to visit 2 hours a week? Was that something he agreed to, or was that something that he simply accepted because some is better than none?
I don't believe I'm the right person to answer that question. I think he would testify now that that was not his intent. However, at the time, my client believed they had an agreement on it.
But the testimony was that that was what was being offered. It was being proposed by your client. She was controlling the dates, and he was merely saying, yes or no, I can make that date work or this date work. But isn't it fair to assume that he wanted more?
Again, I believe that's a question for Mr. Sumption. Again, he was being reestablished into this child's life, and what my client believed was fair was frequent visits with shorter durations of time for his developmental abilities at that point.
But in her opinion?
Yes. And based on
Okay.
her research she had done regarding young children at that time.
All right, continue.
Both parties have agreed that this child is doing great, he's happy, and my client does believe that this is attributed to her providing the consistent day-to-day care, comfort, guidance, and stability since birth. BSJ needs stability, and that is one thing that has been outlined in my client's declaration. She is the parent who is concerned about his stability, and that he relies on that, and she's been the one to provide that. So there is no reason to change this up now. Again, Mr. Sumption is the one who made the decision to move to Wyndmere. He didn't discuss this with my client, and now they live in 2 different communities. There is lots of driving to facilitate this parenting time, and one thing my client is concerned about is the frequent exchanges that Mr. Sumption's proposing with his proposed schedule. That's a lot of time for this child to spend in the vehicle, paired with the fact that Mr. Sumption does have an open container citation that was issued about 1 year ago.
Ms. Wisher?
Yes.
Isn't it true that they always lived about a half hour apart?
They lived about, I believe it was 25 minutes apart when the child was born, when he lived in the South Dakota residence. Now I believe it is over an hour.
Well, I think it was in the declarations, it was an hour. So 25 minutes to an hour. Is that such an appreciable difference that it should affect my decision in whether or not Mr. Sumption should have an equal opportunity to parent BSJ?
Well, I believe there is a fairly large difference between 25 minutes to an hour. And additionally, these are 2 different communities that are now an hour away from each other. This child needs to attend preschool and school in one community, and it's just going to result in a significant amount of driving if there is an equal parenting schedule.
But does that presume, is that your client presuming that the child is going to attend school in Oaks?
I believe with Mr. Sumption still working in the Oaks area, it is undisputed that Oaks will remain the child's primary community. I think what Mr. Sumption has outlined in his declaration is that Wyndmere is the home base for his family as BSJ lives in Oaks, and what was outlined in his is that his wife's children, their primary residence is West Fargo. So Wyndmere has really split the difference between the 2 for their children.
But does that necessarily mean that he agrees BSJ is going to be raised in Oaks? I'm thinking that's rather speculative at this point. Wouldn't you agree?
with the child being 2, I think at this point, he doesn't need a primary residence, so to say, but that's going to come sooner than later. So with the information outlined in the declarations, I believe they did have an agreement that his primary residence would be Oaks, but if the court considers that to be speculative now, I don't think I can accurately answer that.
Can you tell me where in the declarations it says that?
Give me one moment, please.
Go ahead.
Paragraph 21 of Mr. Sumption's declaration states that his fiance at the time and him purchased his home in Wyndmere because it's halfway between Fargo, where her children's father resides, and Brittany.
Well, that I understand, but can you point to anywhere in the declaration where Mr. Sumption is agreeing that the child is going to be raised permanently in Oaks and that the child is going to go to school in Oaks and needs to make deep community ties in Oaks?
I don't believe there's any information in Mr. Sumption's declaration. Well, paragraph 52 states BSJ has only ever lived in the Oaks area. I have no intention of moving or relocating him from his home. I'm familiar with the area and most of my extended family lives by.
Okay. Go ahead. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, we're requesting that our motion be granted, that my client be awarded temporary primary residential responsibility, that Mr. Sumption receive temporary parenting time every other weekend as outlined in our return to motion and motion, that exchanges continue to occur in Oaks, that child support continue to be paid as ordered, and that each be responsible for 1/2 of daycare expenses. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Leclomp, it was your motion. Any rebuttal argument?
Your Honor, I think there's a lot of testimony regarding, or arguments, I should say, with Trevor being uninvolved and not seeing. Trevor did have a few visits in between, and he did ask for paternity tests. It's outlined in his declaration. He asked multiple times. He even asked at the hospital when he was born, and those requests were all denied. You know, Trevor, it is in BSJ's best interest that he have the opportunity to have both parents equally involved in his life. Trevor is being held to a standard of not being involved when there is no confirmation, and Ms. Jordahl even testified that she was waiting for confirmation or waited for confirmation before there was consistent and routine parenting time with Mr. Sumption. So we would just ask that the parties be awarded equal temporary parenting time as outlined in his declaration. If this court is inclined to award equal parenting time and Ms. Sumption has issues with the 2255 schedule, Mr. Sumption is amendable to there's a few different variations that we could work with. That was just what he put in to have as minimal disruptions with still acknowledging that he is younger and we don't want there to be 7 days in between exchanges because that could be too long for him to go without seeing either parent. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Lecomp, that puts me in a difficult position because I'm going to make a decision shortly. And so you're proposing 2255, which has frequent transitions.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Jordahl is proposing, or Ms. Wisher on Ms. Jordahl's behalf is proposing an every other weekend type of situation with fewer transitions, but your client wants equal, and I think that's clear. And so one of the concerns raised by Ms. Jordahl is frequent transitions cause problems, but you're acknowledging that 7 days in between and a weekly basis is a problem. And so that leaves me with a 223 option. That leaves me with a 2255 option. That leaves me with a 7-day option. But some of those options have a lot of transitions and some of them have much fewer transitions.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your client want and why?
Your Honor, we're proposing a 2255. It avoids the exchanges of a 223 that have a lot. With the 2255, we're proposing that exchanges would occur. He could pick up and drop off BSJ at Brittany's house on his way to from work, absent, there being a holiday or something else. He drives into Oaks for work. And that would be, 3 exchanges a week approximately. With the schedule proposed by Ms. Jordahl, there's an exchange Friday night, there's an exchange Sunday night, and then there's 2 exchanges on the Mondays, and there's 2 exchanges on the Wednesday. So her proposal actually includes more exchanges than Mr. Sumption's.
All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Again, I have another obligation here shortly, and so I am going to take the matter under advisement. I will work on a written opinion. I expect to have it out, I'm hoping by the end of the week. If not, it will be sometime early next week, but I'm fairly confident it'll be out by Friday. So it'll be out soon, and it will have, regardless of the decision, it'll address all the issues that the parties have raised. Depending on what I do, it might affect child support, and child support, they're a statutory party of interest, and they have offered to prepare consistent child support guidelines, determinations, depending on the outcome of the interim order. And so if I change, depending on what I do, that issue might not be resolved until I hear from child support. But nevertheless, the opinion expected for sure within 7 days. Anything else, Ms. Leclomp?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Wisher?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We are adjourned. Have a good day.